couple of seconds.
Hi, everybody.
Now we should be good.
Welcome to Author's Corner with Rec. You all made it. I've got the incredible Rose Reynolds here with me to talk about The Shattered Sword. And we've got Ricky. Ricky. I called you
Ricky. Holy shit. All right.
Richie.
Morton Ricky.
Oh, my God. Somebody get me some Diet Pepsi.
Oh, my God.
Mm-hmm.
Damn.
Yeah, I don't know where that came from.
Hold back their hair. You're such a hard person with the Diet Pepsi there. That's hot.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it's been a day. Yeah, I'm excited though to be here. We get the cover reveal tonight, so for Stumbling Up. Very excited about that. We'll give everybody a few minutes to hop on before we get going on the cover reveal. But Rose, I loved your book. And I loved it so hard that I just double fisted and drank the rest of the series this last week. I finished it. So thank you for the gem that is. It's Eternal Online. Is that the series name?
Eternal Online, yeah.
Yeah.
So it was originally it was going to be Toll Online, which was like a reference to Toll Eressëa, like Lord of the Rings, but it was less recognizable. Yeah. Eternal Online just felt right, but yeah.
Yeah. Well, it fits just the story. Yeah. So before we get started, I just want to say, if you haven't read Eternal Online, if you haven't read The Shattered Sword, you need to put it and add it to your list because it's quality. It's finished. I mean, how many finished RPG, series do we have? I think when I talked to KT, we talked about getting like medals for people who have finished writing a series. You get like a finished medal for Lit RPG Con.
I've had people be like, a little underwhelmed because I do a lot of trilogies, at least under the TJ Reynolds pen name, but it means I wrote an intentional arc.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It means I didn't write a book that got popular and then I wrote 17 more books. So just a little bit of shade, love and shade. So sometimes people just write until sales die. And I think that's one way to do it. And another way is to write an arc.
Yeah, I think, we'll get into that. I think that, there's definitely something to say for an intentional arc, and the setup and delivery of such an arc. It's really well put together, and I think that's part of it.
Thank you.
Yeah, we're definitely going to get into it. Where are we at, Richie? How many people do we get online?
We got 5 right now.
Okay. All right.
Dun,
dun, dun.
So and for anyone who ever takes what I have to say to heart, it's a damn good series.
Yeah,
it is a damn good series. And
don't do the cover reveal yet. Keep flattering me. This is good.
No. Hey, this is the second time you've been on the channel, Rose, and it's been a few years since we've had you on. And the last time we had you on, it was with Daniel and Rebecca. That was when I was still living in Colorado because it was for the release of First Fist. Yeah.
I forgot we did a live with Rebecca. She's so cute.
She's an absolute gem.
A little bit of an artistic friend crush on her.
She's an absolute gem.
A little bit in love with her. It's fine. Whatever.
Well, BJ, so Jen is reading it right now. I pretty much finished the series and I was like, all right, go start it. It's bundled on Audible right now and it's narrated by Andy. So another reason to pick it up. BJ saying that it's on her list and she might just do the full series. Normally she just does the first book. So
let me see if I can cause some shenanigans.
You should go for it. And honestly, that was the only time that I've gotten to experience working with Andy Parsnow. And she's not normal. She pours herself into books. She has like an assistant that helps with so many different aspects of it. I forgot the assistant's name, but was like giving me graphic art and like fan art of Pachi, like the animal companion. And Andy and I spoke several times and it was really cute. She made me cry a bunch by saying nice things. And I was like, okay, I just thought you were going to be the famous person that I got lucky to land. But she's a lot more. She's a very personable sweetheart.
Yeah, she's a very genuine person. Yeah, she's on my like dream narrator list at some point. I hope I can write something that deserves Andy's voice. But yeah, you've got that check mark in your catalog.
It was absolutely lucky. Do you want to hear how I got it?
Yeah.
So I had written the novel, book 1, and then I was going to be really smart, and I was like, you know, what'd sell better in this genre? Novellas.
I've heard that out of a couple people lately.
I was an experienced author, and I totally knew a lot. So I literally broke it into 4 pieces. I shattered the sword, right? And then Athon heard from somebody else that I had a female lead and said, hey, we've got an Andy Parsnow slot. Do you want it? And do you have a novel ready? And I was like, it's technically 4 novellas, and the first one's been published, but I will fix it in 2 weeks. And so I had a 2-week deadline, and I did it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Dang.
Undo all of my ridiculous bullshit. And then had I like gone through with the full publishing of the novellas, like a whole 17 people would have loved it.
Yeah.
So no one reads novellas.
Yeah, you would have had to bundle a lot earlier.
Yeah.
How long was the novella versus the full length novel? Like how much did you have to add in your 2 weeks?
I just adjusted the ending and worked on revisions and stitching the pieces together. I had written a book and it was like around 110. And by the time I was done putting it back together and smoothing it out, it was like 120 or 122. I'm not sure. Something like that.
Yeah, gotcha.
So, yeah.
Well, very cool. That is probably worth it to land Andy as your narrator for your series. Yeah. I mean, I think that's having Andy narrate is maybe not that I need any nudge to write a female main character lead. You know, all my other books have female main character leads, but
well, here, keep talking about Andy for me real quick. Just keep up the Andy praise because I'm working on something. So just keep going. Keep going.
I did try to pitch something recently because I signed with Athon again, and I should have a book coming out next year. It's my Bunny Girl series.
Hell yeah.
And I asked Andy, it was just like a little DM, like, hey, so I know you're busy, but and she's like, yeah, I could fit you in 2028. And I'm like, cool.
Yeah.
I'll go elsewhere.
Well, I can recommend Jessica. She's killer too, and real professional to work with. And I think her availability is a bit sooner. So
Jessica 3.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I love the Threat. She's great.
Yeah.
Threetle juice.
Mm-hmm.
Hope she sees this. Yeah, we'll see. The contract is weird. It's between Audible Studios and Athon picking up ebook, which is really nice that they wanted the scraps. You know, audiobook usually holds the chunkier part of the contract. So Audible Studios will be who I work with to find out who I'm getting. So,
ooh, okay. Yeah. That adds a little bit. I mean, do you have a lot of choice or is it more like them led? Like are they like, here's 3 people, choose, or do you
things have been less than communicative, and I need to throw out some stop.
Oh my gosh.
I use my powers for evil. Yeah. I said keep talking about Andy. I was working on some magic.
Yes, that came out of absolutely nowhere. I told Richie, I was like, Richie, Andy, I can't turn on camera right now. Andy looks wrecked right now.
I said,
hey, this is the wreck show. You're allowed to look wrecked. It's okay.
There we go. Plus, I'm like in my living room. Like I'm in my living room. You can see my kitchen in the background.
Fair.
Hi, hello, everybody.
Oh my God.
hello.
Yeah, love you.
I love you, dude. So good to see everybody. I love you, Rose. Okay.
Did you? Okay, you never check your Facebook messages, but you should check because I like reached out. No, it's fine. She's all over the place. But I listened up to like book 4 of Azeroth, and I'm just in love with your voice. You're so fucking
good. You're the best, Rose. Yeah. Thank you. No, and I think I've checked Facebook messages twice since May.
You're like twice since 2025.
Oh man. and maybe at that it freaks me out because I get overwhelmed really easily. No, I need to be good about that. And thank you so much. I just finished book 6. I just recorded book 6 of Azerin. It's in editing right now.
That's awesome. Yeah.
We
were just talking.
Andy book.
Fun.
We were talking about a Shattered Sword, or the Shattered Sword, by Rose, and how your voice is amazing.
Oh, thank you. I love that. Eternal was so much fun. I love that story so much. It's one of the ones that I recommend tops when like people are through wandering in and stuff. It's like the next one I will usually suggest is like Eternal or Tower of Somnus or Somnia. Like it's just such a good lit RPG. I loved it. And I loved the pieces of the sword and stuff. Like it was just beautifully written.
Yeah. Yep. And it's bundled. Like I said, you guys, it's bundled right now on Audible. So go pick it up. You don't have an excuse. Just go pick it up and read it. And
just pick up the damn thing.
Yeah, pick up the book. It's good.
It's absolutely delicious. If you love a lit RPG, if you love progression fantasy at its core and the most adorable slow burn romance, just
yes.
You are doing yourself a disservice by not picking it up because it's just such a good read. It's good for the soul.
Yeah, it actually made me cry, and it's been a while since a lit RPG made me cry. So, yeah.
Yeah.
I did that earlier.
I'm still searching for my Mahdi, by the way. Where's my 6'1" Latina? Dear Lord.
Mahdi, I had a crush on Mahdi.
She was so hot. She was just competent,
so hot.
Who didn't?
Fun, and had big hands. She was like, "What? This is a bunch of wins."
Please. Check. This is wonderful.
Yeah.
No, I just wanted to use my powers for evil really quickly because I was like, "Oh yeah, Andy did narrate this. Let me. Let me message her really quickly without anyone knowing."
That
was like pure. That was luck. I just happened to look at my Discord right at that moment. It was like, Andy, can you jump on real quick? And I'm like, okay, yeah, I can do that. Yeah. What are we talking about? Oh, Rose is there. Sweet. Let's do this.
I use my powers for evil sometimes.
Yes.
That's right.
Thank you guys for having me. This is so cool.
Thanks for joining. I think I some achievement unlocked had Andy Arsenault podcast with
I will
me.
come back anytime you guys need me. I love you guys.
Oh, don't worry, Andy. I'm reaching out to you soon because we got to talk Heavenly Chaos.
Oh, hell yes.
I have some thoughts to share with you. I just finished book 3, so
and I will receive.
I got some thoughts.
Thank you guys so much for having me. This was a blast, and I adore you, Rose. I can't
wait. No,
yes.
Can I ask one question?
Of course.
Did you? Okay, so I was very much egg mode, pre-transition-y when I wrote this, right? And I was totally not self-inserting at all when Hana was modifying her body and her appearance in order to feel safer and calmer in her own skin. Did you pick up on any of the transness? If you read it now, it's like, oh my God, it's on the nose. But did you at the time?
I'm trying to think back if I did.
She like broadened her jaw, flattened her chest, narrowed out her hips. She did so many different things to like feel safer.
Oh, she did.
I remember that. Yeah.
I don't think I clocked it at the time. I just attributed it to her truly owning herself and owning her body and having a true choice in that for the first time.
Yeah.
And I like that that's spiritually what's intended there, which is just taking ownership. That feels good. That came across strongly. That's what came across to me. It didn't feel like she was trying to change her gender. It felt like she was trying to make herself her for the first time. And I
don't think she knew what was going on at the time. But I think if we checked in now, I think Hana would be rocking a they. Just saying. I think there'd be some pronoun fuckery happening.
I love it.
Hell yes. Hell yes. That's amazing. And thank you for letting me be a part of it. That was amazing.
Of course. I love you, Andy. It was nice bumping into you.
Oh, I love you too, Rose. It was nice bumping into you. And I love you guys. I will talk to you later.
Love you. Thanks for joining.
Andy.
Bye.
Bye.
Well, that was a real treat. Thanks.
I had to use my powers for evil. That
was dope.
Yeah. Love the boopin.
You got me to blush. That was great. I was just like, wait, what? No way.
Okay, so Rose, I've made it a goal now. Every time I see you or interact with you now, I have to try to get you flustered in some way, shape, or form. Because at Jordan Con, I told you that Steven was proposing to Tori when we were doing the group photo, and you were like, yeah. And then
I wasn't expecting it. I was like tipsy and everyone was just doing dumb stuff. And then
I told you because I thought you knew it was happening.
No.
Because Steven didn't tell me who all knew.
No, it was good because I was like being obnoxious and cunty and it wasn't the right time. And then you told me and I was like, oh, tears squirt in my eyes. And then it happened. And poor Steven didn't. He had like a speech and he's like, Tori, marry me. And I was like, all right, it works. Yeah, it's hard to not freak out. I think I freaked out. So it was really cute.
You gotta be careful with that threat though, Richie, because it goes both ways. You know,
I mean, it takes a lot to like, or it doesn't take a lot for me to fluster. Like I'm just, I naturally blush. That's just me. You'd be like, hey, nice hair. And I'm like, stop it. So, you know, but now it's a goal.
Bring it on. Let's go.
It's a goal. I got to be the hype man again.
Just keep bringing the ego. I'm down.
Always. Always. Because I have both the TJ Reynolds pen name and the other pen name books on my shelf. So I always recommend them. I got too many books.
That was trippy. At Lit RPG Con, I met Atlas Kane fans. And it was affirming to have someone tell me, oh, I always knew it was a chick. And I was like, yes. I did not write that in girl mode, but it still came out that way. And I was surprised that people remembered. And I was like, cool.
Atlas Kane books, with no pun intended. Atlas Kane books, fuck. They are so good. So.
There was some sex, yes.
Dun, dun, dun.
Just a smidge.
There's just a little. I didn't go crazy. There's some of them that are very smutty and
Chimera King.
No, that one there was some fucking in that, yeah.
Yeah, there's some.
But I'm saying like the harem genre gets very intense, and some of them don't know what consent is in a way that sucks. Some are amazing. You know, we've got Shinopin and we've got great authors there too, but some are not as approvable.
Yeah. Well, we're gonna get to that. You know, what else we should read of yours a little bit later here. But first, let's do the reveal. We've hung out for a little bit.
Before we do that, folks, I just gotta make sure that.
And also, I approve of the chat. You guys need to fluster Richie at the next con. This is 100% needs to happen.
Is this?
Yeah.
Is this the thing?
Matthew, Muff, BJ, you're gonna be in for it.
I'm always in for it. Like I'm always in for it.
Yeah.
So.
Ooh. All right. We don't even need it, Richie. Looks like it probably will show up better on the screen. But I got the first physical copy in hand. The nice chunk.
Nice chunker.
Let's go through checks and stuff, but here's the cover, guys.
I need that on my shelf. But here we go.
Here we go. Yeah.
There we go.
This is the Stumbling Up cover. The art's by Morpheus, Enrique. He did an amazing job. We've got a full wrap, obviously, all the way around, and the spine. The spine.
On getting the full wrap uploaded so that way you can see everything.
It's okay. The spine is it's gonna make a picture all on its own. So when it sits on the shelf, it's gonna look extra pretty. So
give me like 2 seconds.
This is cool. You guys, this grin is this is the first time it came literally while after the podcast started. So
here's the back. This is and then I'm gonna work some magic here, so make sure that this works too.
Yeah. I love this love. Killing it.
There's a lot of
in the book.
Mm-hmm.
No, it said that there was an error. Why does this hate me?
It's okay. We've got chapter art too. So if you've been on the Discord, you've noticed me posting pictures of slugs and stuff. They're all designed and done by Morpheus. So it's gonna be a quality book to put on your shelf. And that'll all be on the digital version too, so you don't have to miss out doing it digitally.
I took your slug t-shirt from the con.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I gave it to my middle child because I didn't read the dick joke that it is. I saw them wearing it and I was like, oh shit, did you go to school in that? Uh-huh. And I'm like, wow.
There we go.
You shouldn't wear that again.
Wrap.
That is a penis joke. And then Lila read it was like,
yeah.
I was like, I'm so sorry.
How old is your middle child?
12. It was inappropriate and I failed as a parent. It was not intentional, but I was like, wow. Okay. I just thought it was a cute slug. And Lila's like, oh, I like slugs. And I'm like, yep, there you go.
Yeah. Hopefully by the next con we'll have a t-shirt that's maybe more appropriate for all ages. If you didn't see the t-shirt, it says, is that a slug in your armor? Or are you happy to see me with
I worked at Thanksgiving, so
yeah.
But
yeah. But also in the Discord, I don't know who all has access to it, but anytime I join a voice chat now, I get spammed with my own voice.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, if you join the well-wrecked Discord on voice chat, there are about 12 options to insult people with Richie as Richard. It's amazing. Yeah, it's a lot of fun. There's also a couple voice chat options of just Richie being uncomfortable.
It's called well-wrecked. Who doesn't want to be well-wrecked? I mean, that's
right. Yeah, come hang out for the slug jokes and the camaraderie and the the updates. Yeah, my animal companion thinks you're a dick. Yep, 100%, Brian.
I have that ribbon hanging from my car.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we're working on some new ribbons for next year too. So there'll be new ribbons, and I've got a 3D modeler in the works for a specialized another slug figurine. So you'll have to collect them all. So it'll be fun. Cool. Next year's gonna be fun. Which brings me, got the invite to JordanCon, so that's going to be the next in-person event. I know, Rose, we're going to talk later what events you're hitting up next year, but why don't you go? Like, where are you going to be at next year?
I did a very last-minute submission to JordanCon. I was like literally down to the last hour before Geneva pulled the names to do panels. Mm-hmm. So I don't know if I'm going to get in or not, but the wonderful Jessica Wargo said she would room with me. So I was like, shit, I should just go. So I think I'm going to be there. I'm definitely going to do Lit RPG Con and Dragon Con. I don't think I'm going to do 20 books still. Everyone kind of still does it, and it doesn't seem that cool. It seems like a very good slug measuring competition.
Yeah.
You get it? Did you get it?
Maybe.
I got it. Don't worry.
Selling AI writing services to authors. What the fuck are you doing?
Yeah, come on, people. Yeah.
So gross.
Yeah. It's
a weird vibe.
It's like, even more important to double, triple down on, artists and real human authors. Yeah. Well, all right, let's hop into the interview. We've talked about the cover. If you've got any questions about the cover, or if you aren't on my Discord, ping the chat. We'll put a link to Discord in the chat, and I'll pop the cover on the Discord a little bit later today. So,
and since I am not the author for Author's Corner, I'm gonna excuse myself.
All right, thanks, Richie. Appreciate you joining.
Fun.
Love you, sweetheart.
Yeah.
Love you.
Don't get flustered.
I'll try.
Okay, so let's go ahead and start. Rose, thanks so much for hanging out. Today night's episode is going to run a little bit later because we did the cover reveal. So just be prepared to hang on, everybody, for an extra 15-20 at the end. So, but Rose, Eternal Online, Book 1, Shattered Sword, like I said, in my notes, I'm like, I've already started Book 2 or 3. I've actually finished Book 3. I have sobbed at the end of Book 3. And I can't wait to discuss this with you. We've got to talk about the plot, the character arcs, your weird similarities in video games we played as young people. We've got a lot to talk about. So
let's do it. Let's go.
Yeah. Dahlia, right?
Dahlia / Hannah, yeah.
Yeah, Dahlia / Hannah is the main character. They is a newly orphaned late teen young adult who's inherited a vast debt from her parents. She pawns an heirloom to buy into a premium VR pod to play Eternal Online, a game that she's researched for years, and she's trying to earn enough in game to pay off the debt that her parents left her. And so she goes into this game on like a survivalist hard mode server that makes it a little bit more difficult, but then stuff is worth more, and so her sweat is gonna pay off for her is the idea. I'm embarrassed to say, Rose, that this is the first book of yours I've read, and it was published in May of 2020.
It's wild that I was just like smiling fondly at the baby author that I was when I wrote it.
Yeah.
I've written 36 books since. So,
I think I think we're gonna just keep having you come back on the show every quarter, because as I read through your catalog, like, all right, it's time to talk about this next series. Because if this is like baby author Rose, I can't wait to read like current, Rose's writing. I'm excited.
Yeah, it came out with heart though. It's one of the series that the only regrets I have is that I wish I could have just spent an extra full year just polishing it, but that's not really how life works. Yeah. I think it came out really well for where I was at.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's not how the genre works either. You don't get time to think. It's just go, right? I will say, while I'm sad that this is the first book of yours, like it's taken me this long to read your first book, I'm not sad that this is the first book of yours I've read, because it's just sweet and good, and So my first question for you as a writer is, as always, how would you like people to address you when they come up to you at con? Do you want Rose, TJ, Her Majesty? How would you like that?
Spare me the majesty. Well, I don't know. It could probably work sometimes, but Rose is fine. If like I was at Jordan Con 2023, I think, when I was gendered for the first time correctly as TJ, and I had to excuse myself to go cry in the bathroom because it felt so good.
Yeah.
So I'm at the point now where I don't really care. TJ Reynolds was quote unquote my dead name or whatever, and is now my pen name. And I love who I used to be, and I love who I am now. So I'm good either way. There's no like, oops, I didn't mean to. If you fuck up on pronouns, I might show you the backside of my hand, but that's just up to you if you want to.
If you want to test that,
roll the dice with a 6'1" trans femme. That's up to you. But
that's fair.
Rose is fine.
Okay, so we'll address you as Rose. It's funny because like there's so many authors in the genre that use pen names or have their wild gamer name tag or whatever. So it's one of those things where I don't know. You gotta ask, right? It's like a little bit of the queer community sneaking into Lit RPG.
I know James Hunter's real name, but it took me 2 years to know James Hunter is not James Hunter's real name. And I don't call him the real name because it's weird. Everyone's just like, hey, James. And I like learn the other one, and I'm like, ew, no.
No. It's funny because it's like I changed my name. So I'm like 3 names deep, right? Because Rec is my pen name. My real name is Marsh, right? And then I've got my dead name out there, but it's been a while since somebody. I had a friend that I've known for like a couple of years now, and I just randomly mentioned my dead name, and she was like, "Oh, that's it." It's like, how do people not know? It's crazy how time works. Yeah. So, well, now that's settled. Let's get into questions. So Dahlia Hannah is allowed 1 possession to enter the world. So basically the system scans a real life thing and puts it in the digital world. And she chooses her family's like heirloom katana. It ends up in the game. It's a relic artifact, and the system governing the game is like you can't have a relic artifact right out the gate. That's too OP even for lit RPG, and splits it into a dozen parts, half a dozen parts.
7.
Yeah, 7. Okay, 7.
I got that wrong. I think it's 7.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah. That many parts, right? Splits it into many parts, and part of her quest in the series is to find all the parts and reassemble the sword. And each time she gets a new part, it levels up a little bit and gives her some extra powers and stuff. So let's talk about the sword. Why a katana? And yeah, what? I mean, this is a base part of the story. What made you decide to go this way?
yeah, katanas are dope. That's sort of part of it. And then when I was writing Hana, we should just use that as her name because she didn't relate as much to Dahlia.
Yeah.
Once she found her new self, that's sort of where she got seated in it, especially by the end of the trilogy. But my children are mixed. My ex-wife is Mexican and Japanese, and I just pictured Hana as my middle child in a lot of ways, which is really cute. Yeah, I'm gonna hold one of my little interior comments to myself and maybe tell we're doing private chat. But yeah, I thought that was really fun, and it allowed me to do a lot of research on kendo and fighting style. And I did probably too much research in a way. There's like a point in which your writing won't get better, but I didn't know that, and I spent months researching, and like the amount of like Easter eggs I put in there and all the epitaphs, I spent too much time doing that. It was really fun. I had no regrets, but I remember looking back and being like, wow, I spent weeks of revision on epitaphs, just trying to make like I did a Led Zeppelin one, but then I changed the name of Led Zeppelin to be like the Bard of Evermore. I don't know. I was just trying to like tweak everything to make it sort of there and sort of not get sued with copyright, but also be fun.
Yeah. That's fair. Have you ever wielded a katana? Have you ever tried
I own one. I mean, yeah. I've swung one around. I don't know if I've wielded it.
You didn't like reenact any of the sword fights, or?
I have definitely sliced apart some fruit.
Yeah. I think anybody that owns a sword may have demolished a watermelon or two in their time. Yeah.
I fucked up the tip, which sucks, but it could technically, if you really swung it, you could probably take a hand off. It's got a good edge.
That's sharp. Yeah. Nobody's breaking into your place.
Whatever. Yeah.
Yeah. Love it. I love it. I did not catch the Easter eggs. I'm not that detailed a reader, but that's exciting. I'm gonna have to like go through when Jen's listening to it. I'm gonna have to be like, all right.
Easter eggs are harder listening, I find.
Yeah.
I don't catch them nearly as much because the narrator doesn't always try to emphasize it because that's not the point. But yeah, there was a bunch of little cultural things and little bits tucked in there.
Yeah. Very cool. Love it. All right. You included different references to other martial arts in the story as well. Do you have a background in martial arts, or was that all research as well?
I don't remember which ones I had her use, but I've done a lot of jiu-jitsu and like some Muay Thai and boxing. So I've punched people and made them tap out. I've done that. I haven't done any weapons training, which would be really fun.
Yeah.
But yeah. So yeah, and then also just I've done too much research on it. It's really fun. Me and Grayson Sinclair, when we did the Wyvern Academy series, he's like the biggest sweetheart. But he's also 6'5" and a large dude, and he could handily break people. And it's funny because one of our like reviewers called us keyboard warriors or something, and just went off calling us douchebags, and we don't know what fighting is. And it was like, well, okay.
You want to meet in the back alley?
We could test that if you want, as long as it's friendly. I'll whoop your ass.
Yeah. I think sometimes when you get it's funny. I don't have martial arts experience necessarily, but I was a fencer. Fencing is my thing, and it's almost like you get too detailed in how it works, and it destroys this illusion of actual, like, it's like people aren't interested in what actual fighting is like. They just want this like fantasy, theatrical version.
I swung and cracked him in the face, then ducked. And you're like, okay. Or you could do a scene by scene, hyper detailed thing that probably shouldn't be written all in there. You have to learn that as an author. Like, I don't think I'm helping anyone at this point.
Yeah. I'm gonna edit that out. Yeah.
If it takes 3 pages to write like one punch sequence, you're fucking up. So anyway, sorry. Next question.
No, you're good. You're good. A couple of things stuck out on this. First, female main character, which is sadly there's not enough in lit RPG. So you've got a female main character, a female secondary main character, right? And Madi, and at the time it was even less so. I mean, you had Carrie Summers with Stonehaven League, and Wandering End was getting spun up around that time too. The book, the intro, book 1, really reminded me hardcore of Carrie Summers and Stonehaven League. It's kind of similar, like, VR login, trying to get out of debt, sort of that kind of backstory. Did that influence you at all, or fierce female main character? I mean, you guys, just similarities. Both books are good. I think I like yours maybe a bit better, but like,
I love Stonehaven. I
yeah.
don't remember much because I read it like 4 years ago, but I read it after Eternal. I hadn't read a whole bunch before. Like, I think I stumbled into the genre with like Ascend and a few other, like Bathrobe Night, and Awaken Online, and I even did some VGO, some James Hunter OG. I don't remember the order of anything. I just was like on Audible, and then I remember thinking, like, not only can I write this, but I am so hungry to write a lit RPG. I'm gonna see if this works. So it worked.
yeah, absolutely. No, good. Well, it's good that it warms my heart that you hadn't read Stonehaven League until afterwards, because it's that expression of like MMO, seeking yourself in game. And I think in the 2020, I don't know, I grew up like World of Warcraft in college and stuff, right? Like we all did that thing. Star Wars Galaxy, it's a good moment in our history of gaming.
It's a little sad that it took me a while to get to a female like author and female MC, but I had to learn the genre first, because you can't even search the Audible recommendations to find any of them. They're buried, or at least they were completely and I was like, man, it'd be really cool if someone wrote this, and I just didn't think it had existed. And so I thought I was kind of being the first one, but there had been several others. Katie Hanna's first works were before mine.
Yeah, Katie. I don't know when Jay's first one, when Siphon.
Yeah, Siphon
was right in there too.
It was like 2019, I think. I could be wrong. I'm good at dates or times, so don't sue me if I'm wrong.
Yeah. Well, and that's the crazy thing, because at that time I was really looking for a female main character lit RPG, and I didn't find yours, which is wild to me. I should have. It's at that time it was really hard to find, not because it didn't exist, but just the algorithm just wasn't working.
It's a bitch, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, it's still not great, but it's better. I mean, at least, once a month we get in the lit RPG forum, hey, can somebody recommend a, female main character lit RPG? And if there's multiple ones to recommend now, which is nice. So, all right, we have to talk about the video game references. You guys, I messaged Rose in the middle of the night while I was reading, because there's a reference to my all-time favorite video game growing up, like NES video game, Destiny of an Emperor. And I've literally never met somebody in the wild who's played the video game and you just explicitly just like fangirl over it in book 1. So yeah,
Yeah, I love that game so fucking much. It was a big deal. My friend Gavin used to come over, and he had that and Dragon Warrior 1
Yep.
and 2. But Destiny of an Emperor was our favorite, and the cartridge was bad. So it was always sketch how far we would get before the game would fuck up. And check this out. This is the dedication. One time the cartridge was glitching really bad, and the screen went mostly blank with a bunch of like weird pixeled bullshit. And we leveled up and went through an entire cave system. And we found a gate by like bumping against all the like mountains and then beat a boss. And it took hours to do that. And then we just passed out exhausted. And the next day it worked. And we're like, dude, that was dope.
That's incredible. It's like,
we went through the saltpeter cave. Like, you know what I mean?
Oh, man. Yeah. I mean, that's
easy.
No.
Ridiculous. Yeah. So,
no.
On the sound of bumping that do, you know. Love that shit.
That's wild. My family, all of my family played it. My mom, my dad, my brother, and myself. Like we've played it a dozen times each. And they're in the game, there's this like horse that you can find.
Yes.
And we could never find the horse. I think we must have searched like
every. You never found it?
I think like a decade or two later, somebody ended up. But it was like back in the day, you had like a Nintendo hotline that you could call. I think we called the Nintendo hotline like, "Where's this fucking horse?" I think because it's like the mechanic. You can only find the horse in a certain time period, and it's
also in a specific like block. You have to the directions are given there, but they're very vague and not well written. Me and my friend, I think, got it once when we were young, and then like we played it when we were like 7 to 9. We were like, and so it seemed like the world's hardest game. Yeah. And then playing it as an adult, I'm like, oh, I can beat it in like 2 or 3 hours. Instead of like weeks at a time. But late, like we could only do it once, and then we thought it was a fluke, and then now you can just go online and find out exactly.
Yeah. Yeah, because I mean, online didn't exist. So I think we searched like every single block in that screen trying to. I mean,
you're right though. No, it's not a time thing. It's if you go past a certain gate.
Yeah.
Then it clocks your opportunity out, so you can't access it anymore.
I think we kept steaming forward and being like, oh, we'll get the horse. We'll search for the horse once we get through that next.
No.
Yeah.
Once you get past that gate, it like changes the sequence and you can never get it again. But it's worth it because it makes you fast travel, right? Isn't that what it does? It makes you
yes, it does. So we just ended up buying lots of gull wings and flittering across. Yeah. Just spending a lot of money. But
so how many smoke pots did you buy?
What was that?
How many smoke pots did you buy?
A lot of smoke pots.
Right? And we were like, hee hee hee. It's such a good joke.
Yeah.
So dumb.
Yeah. So in the chat, if you have played Destiny of Emperor, we've got to be instant friends because it's like, I don't know, there's something about that game. Dragon Warrior 1 and 2 also definitely played those. There's some Easter eggs in there in the books for those too. So if you like those old RPG NES games, yeah, I don't know, definitely had some alignment there. We're approaching very quickly the time where you guys get to ask your own questions of Rose, so pop them in the chat. I know we've already gotten a couple, but I think they might have gotten lost in the scroll. Brian, I think you had one. If you can just here we go, Brian. Brian wants to know, what does your writing workday look like?
I've been going through a lot of like health and medical things, so I haven't been writing as much, but when I am in full swing, I'll like wake up early and either I'll grind out a little bit, like 1,000 or 2,000 words in the morning. And then I'll do some gym, maybe walk, short nap. I nap a lot. It's whatever. I have autism and ADHD, so I do a lot of like spikes and crashes. And then I'll like, my peak is probably like 9 a.m. or 10 a.m. to like 3 p.m. and I'll grind out between 3 is like a low decent day to like 8K a day.
Yeah.
And I do it at coffee shops sometimes or just at my house. I used to write like my early books. I did a lot of writing at night, especially because I had my second wife then, and the house was busier, and I had, when my kids would be around, I would just be kind of cracking it out at all times. Like my first 2 years, I was writing over 1 million words a year, which I don't think is sustainable. That's led to my big burnout. But writing at night feels too much like burning the next day's energy. So I wake up exhausted and anxious, and I have to do more to ground myself. And basically everything is about trying to keep my mental health good and keep my fucking autism from freaking out. So, so sexy. Neurodivergence, I'm like the most brilliant hot mess in the world. It's both.
Yeah. When you wrote like back in 2020, did you have a day job? Were you balancing like day job as well and all the rest of it?
So in 2019, I was still like a full-time like college professor. I was teaching at Cypress College and Cerritos College. Anyway, and then I just started playing with Eternal. Got it down. It was basically finished in 2019 and published in 2020. And then so I worked that first semester as well. And then the pandemic hit, and they offered to, I think I worked one semester under that toward the end of 2020. And then they said next semester, it was like the winter of 2020 to 21. They said, we're going to all have to do mandatory video for your online classes. And I said, fuck off. And I quit, and I've never gone back because I don't know, I wouldn't mind teaching again, but on like videos is talk about feeling perceived. I'm good in front of a crowd. It doesn't feel the same as being on camera. Yeah. This doesn't feel as bad, but like recording and sending it to 30 students, no.
Yeah, that would be hard. Just like one-way communication. It does beg the question, though. What were you teaching? What's your specialty?
English.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, and I wasn't a good teacher. I was a really good friend and counselor.
Yeah.
I would like teach them metaphor and story and say that grammar is inconsistent and it depends on who you're following. And I don't know, I didn't do what they wanted me to do, but I did a lot to try and like love the students. So
that's awesome. I imagine you're an amazing professor. So
thank you. I did my best. People are like, how much, like, are you going to teach us lots of grammar? And I'm like, no, it's not important. And if you're going to be like a grammar, quote unquote Nazi, then you are kind of being in a way very problematic and low key racist in some ways, because, you're teaching white grammar. And I'm like, nah, we're good.
Yeah.
I want you to be consistent with your grammar if you can.
Yeah.
And don't do so many fucking semicolons. I swear to God, if anyone's watching, a semicolon is a diamond. Okay? You don't need to bling your books. Chill out. If you do more than one a page, I will drop your book. If you do more than one a chapter, I'm going to notice and be mad at you.
Yeah. I have a tendency to write more fragmented sort of sentences, and it's like the grammar program I use suggests semicolons. Every time it suggests, I'm like, nope, I'm going to split this. I'm going to change. This is not going to be a semicolon.
Fiction, you're allowed to break all the rules because it's about tone and how it's being read. It's not about, if you're consistent, any reader will get it, especially like when you get like more female read fantasy, you get those like fragments all the time, and they're punchy and fun, and it's very like on point style wise. And I remember like my wife like threw her stuff to an editor, and they were just like, look at all these errors and blah blah blah, and I was like, tell that person to fuck off, we're not hiring them, and send to someone else because they don't know what style is.
Yeah. Well, next time I send my manuscript to my editor and they're like semicolon, I'm going to be like, Rose said, this is a style.
Fuck off.
Yeah, fuck off. Love it. All right, we got Iron Eyes is saying, as someone that balances college classes with a full-time job and still wanting to write, the struggle is real. I take my time to write whenever it comes. Sometimes I even do a little bit on my phone. And yeah.
So advice for that?
Do you have advice for that?
Yeah, I'm gonna give bad advice.
Dun dun dun.
College classes aren't that important. So as a college professor, I would say, do what you have to get a good solid C. Skim the bullshit. Cut the assignments that aren't fun, enriching, skill building, or worth a lot of points, and then focus on your writing.
Yeah, there you go.
And apply for scholarships. God damn it, you can make so much money. So yeah. I made like 30-something thousand in college with scholarships. So just apply.
Dang.
Yeah, because once you write a few personal essays, you can reapply them everywhere. And it turns out to like a 10, 15-minute process. And you're like, oh, I got another $2,000. Boom.
Yeah.
So
yeah. Jen also agrees, saying no one cares what your GPA is after, once you graduate. And that's
so worried about
true.
It. It's not true.
Yeah. I would say that the piece of paper, the degree, can be worth quite a bit just to get you that next job or that next opportunity or whatever. But no job is asking for your transcript. And if it is, you probably don't want to work there anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah. Iron Eyes also says, I never use semicolons. My problem is overusing commas.
That's fair. I would say sometimes, a lot of times, you can use a period instead of a comma. And a lot of times you can just omit the commas. So when you do the every time you pause, put a comma, if you're like a dramatic internal reader, which I am, I would put like thousands of commas that don't technically need to be there.
Mm-hmm.
So come up with a few that are important, like when you're doing a complex, and learn complex and compound sentences. Really learn what those two syntax functions look like. After that, don't do commas. Just don't. Those two, because those help you distinguish the form and function of your sentences. Beyond that, you're wasting your time and confusing the reader.
All right. I'm going to take that to heart.
I'm like a grammar minimalist in a way.
Yeah.
And it's fun because if you look at Hemingway and you look at Ursula K. Le Guin and you look at Stephen King, they all do different.
It's true.
And those are experts. You can look at what the truth is online and find out what the rules are, but it's rare when authors follow those one set of rules and they change over time. So fuck it all and write how you want, but be consistent.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that you could probably make some money doing grammar therapy for writers.
Yeah. There's a lot of self-hate with it. And I had to go through a lot of that myself. Teaching it and seeing the amount of self-judgment and shame.
Mm-hmm.
And then I would get it from people who would come to me and they'd be so sad and I know I'm horrible and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, your personal narrative moved me and I cried. It was beautiful.
Who the hell cares where the comma is? Yeah.
You have a future in writing if you want, because your imagery and your tone and everything was profound as fuck. And then I even got this one. This is the one that's really rough for newbie authors is I would hear this. I would say, your personal statement was amazing. Have you considered being a writer? And it would be like, oh, well, it's my dream, but I'm not smart enough yet because I need better vocabulary.
Mm-hmm.
So they would literally be studying the thesaurus to get better at vocabulary. And I'm like, it'll take you years to unfuck that because no one reads books that have big words in them because they stand out and it's like putting a bunch of boulders in the road so you fall over them. And the reader's like, why the hell would you use that word? And you're out of the story.
Yeah.
So it's just self-love. You have to learn to love yourself and not get in your head about what you think you need to do.
Yeah. Yeah, I joke about how it took me a while to figure out that I could be a writer just because spelling was such a hard thing for me growing up. It was my consistently worst mark. But spelling has very little to do with actually writing.
You mean none? There's
Yeah.
software. We have software.
Right. Well, back then there wasn't,
Yeah,
there wasn't software.
And I had so much shame, and I still do when I remember some of my last college teachers in grad school required us to do handwritten essays in class.
Mm-hmm.
And I told them, like, first off, this is bullshit, and this is a handicap for me, and I'm angry at you. And second, that's my worst essay of the semester because I was sweating the whole time because I was freaked out.
Yeah.
And it's not because I go home and I'm on my computer cheating. It's because I'm comfortable on the fucking keyboard.
Yeah.
So some people are the opposite. They need to write by hand. And I'm like, cool, good luck getting it on the word processing. But that's not a word they use anymore, but the writing softwares. Yeah, word processor, word perfect back in the day.
We're telling our age here a little bit.
We're both in our early 30s.
Yeah, that's right. That's the age. Uh-huh. All right. Well, keep the questions coming. I'll sprinkle them in as we go through the second half of my questions. I know we've at least got one English teacher on here, and I'm curious what her opinion of is grammar is. Some of the grammar. Yeah, let's hear it.
There's some strong disagrees, I'm sure.
No, it's fun. Well, so some more questions here. I don't want to give too much of the story away, especially now that I've read the whole series. But your main character, Hannah, ends up with an animal companion, and I am a sucker for an animal companion, if you can't tell. Tell me about what thoughts do you have when you're planning out an animal companion? Like, what are you thinking about, and what notes do you make sure that you hit in your series?
Yeah, that's a good point. I like the brainstorming of like what you're going to include. Animal companions are great. It's a trope. It's a cliche, and everyone loves it. It's like mwah, it's butter, right? There's that book about fantasy butter or whatever. So write your companions that you want to write. I wanted originality, and I had read about griffins and dragons everywhere. There's a bunch of wolves. There's a bunch of bears. Maudie ends up getting a big, cool stone bear.
Yeah,
but
that fits her personality so well, though.
It does, and she fucking just rides it.
Yeah.
It's just huge. Tejon, yeah, which means badger.
Yeah, Tejon.
Spanish for it's really cute. But Pachi she's an Enfield, and I've never read one, and I don't think I've ever read one since.
I didn't even know what an Enfield was until your book. And
they're the little they're the things that are doing similar gestures on the like English shield sigilry. There's the griffin ones that are more lion-like, and then there's other ones that look pretty weird, and there's antlered ones. But I was just doing a ton of research, and I was like, what the fuck is an Enfield? And I was like, fox. It's a fox hybrid. Some include deer in the lineage. Most others just include eagle or hawk or some other type of bird. It's a muddy-like lineage. They're not like a true chimera because fox tends to be in all of them. So there's like a definitive thing there, but it depends on which part of lore you're pulling from. But it was a middle-aged medieval-aged English monster. I thought it was so dope. And I wanted her to be, because she was a hybrid animal, I wanted her to represent her like species in a way. So she comes across as almost cat-like in some ways, but that's because birds are a little cat-like and cats are it's just a little alien where you see the intelligence, but you're like, you're not human. Right. And then, there's a little bit of cozy fuzzy, and that comes out with Hannah because she earns trust. But at first, Pachi's weird. She's an alien. I wanted a strange magical creature that Hannah didn't understand for a long time.
I think choosing Enfield kind of plays into that because it's not a drag. It's not, you don't have expectations from what an Enfield is. So that weirdness just plays really well with the character. Yeah.
Pachi was one of my best choices for that series.
Yeah, Pachi is one of my favorite characters. I love Madi and Hannah, obviously, but Pachi is just like
when she gets powerful, right?
yeah.
And I remember at the end she does that really cool ability where she like rears up and her wings spread and the feathers are like wrecking shit. And I was just like, I just got goosebumps and I was like, this is dope. Our little cute girl ain't no fucking cutie anymore. Here she goes.
She grew up. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. She's a bit of a rebel too. And I love like she gets shit. And then they're like, oh, I see why you did that. It's just a good moment. There's a lot of very satisfying moments in the series where you're like, oh, that made me feel good. I'm glad that happened. I think they're so in the chat. There's a little bit of a fight. They want to know if M dashes are tarnished forever now because of AI. And then somebody else, Alicia says, AI can take those M dashes from my cold dead hands. Do you have an opinion on M dashes?
I'm not gonna win any friends, but I hated them before AI.
Yeah.
They come off as look how stylish I am. But hang on, this is the thing: is my neurospice hyper focuses on detail.
Yeah.
When someone overuses grammar, I focus on it so much that I get drawn out of the narrative.
Mm-hmm.
So M dashes are conspicuous. They are. They draw a lot of attention, and there are certain authors and genres that like lean into them more heavily or used to, and then yes, sorry, AI made it worse. I think that will like rebounce because AI programmers are probably going to deprogram that, and it'll recover a little bit, but they've never been my favorite.
So help me out. Are M dashes the ones that are like sentence interrupters, or is that like the marrying two words together?
No, it's the interrupters, and you can use commas, and they look less conspicuous in my opinion. I know that there's a slightly different effect, like tone / effect, but function, I feel the function is philosophically the same.
Yeah.
So my opinion. Yeah,
no, that's fair.
I'm sure there are grammar people that would say, "Oh," and I'm like, "Yeah, fuck off."
That's fair. You know, I mean, again, to your point at the beginning, it's as long as you're consistent, you know, and it's part of your style.
Do the parentheses. Is that the right word? These little guys.
Parentheses, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I was like, yeah, I'm thinking of quotation marks. I'm such a nerd. You can use parentheses too, but I feel like in fiction that really stands out for me. So I don't know. I'm kind of weird, and things drive me nuts when repetition is the number one thing that creates style, metaphor, and story, and in my opinion, ruins it. So if it's not an intentional repetition, you've failed. If you accidentally use the same word 30 times in a novel, you're failing. And it doesn't mean that like I fail in every novel. Like it just happens. We're all human. But I mean, some authors just beat it up, or they use the same idiom. I just finished the book we talked about, and it's just there's every chance that blah 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 blah, and there was every chance that, and I'm like, if you said that idiom or that like turn of phrase 30 times in the novel, and by the time I've read the second and third one, I'm like twitching.
Yeah.
But that's just me and my spice.
Yeah, no, that's fair. I think it's hard because you as a person maybe use certain language in your day-to-day, right? And then whatever that phrase, that idiom, that whatever sneaks into your writing, and if you don't have an editor, you don't have that like perspective, you have enough beta readers being like, hey, you said this is the last chance like 18 times, can you take out a couple?
It's almost unavoidable, and I would say for most novelists it is, because we live in normal constraints. And then I think what separates like good and great books from like S tier, like excellent, timeless art, literary, whatever, is that some authors are given the privilege of going back through and spending a year doing line by line revisions. So that every single sentence is purposely crafted, and you can read it when you're just like, fuck.
It's just butter. Yeah.
Holy
Well, Ursula Le Guin, right? I mean, her stuff is just like,
she's a little too sing-song for me. She sounds like bells clanging because she's very rhythmic. But yes, she's an absolute
very
master.
crafted. Yeah.
She's an absolute master. Everything is intentional. Like The Wizard of Earthsea has like 50 timeless quotes.
Yeah.
Where you're like, another one-liner? Oh my God.
Yes. I mean, the books are short, right? And you're like, well, and then you read it and you're like, oh my God.
It reads like prose poetry. That's when
does.
it's that good, the distinction between poetry and prose breaks down.
Yeah.
And then you get that imposter syndrome where you're like,
I know, you're like, I'm never gonna be able to do. I'm
trash.
just never. Yeah.
I'm trash.
Complete trash. Then sometimes you read other books and you're like, well, I'm not that, so maybe I'm not trash.
As far as I would say, one of the best prose, like I like Gideon the Ninth, whatever her name was.
Yes, Tamsin
Muir.
Mm-hmm.
Tamsin Muir. But God, she won't see this. She's more famous than I'll ever be. But I feel like she's a little young and was trying a little too hard. And that's normal for like newer authors. And she's still amazing and better than I am, for sure.
Yeah, she's very talented, but I also struggled with it. Yeah.
Yeah. But Maggie Stiefvater, Scorpio Races. It is so romantic. It's so beautiful. And her prose is stunning. It's very like Le Guin if Le Guin had was more modern. Yeah. And a little less conspicuous with the alliteration where I'm like, Le Guin, stop.
Too much. Yeah.
Alliteration kind of gets under my skin sometimes when it's too heavy.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
I met Stiefvater in New York Book Con, and I watched her panel, and I watched everyone else try to be all pompous and stupid, and she was like modest and cool. And I have such a big crush on her. She's hot and such a good writer. But I waited to the end, and then I waited while everyone did a bunch of stupid pictures and had her sign a bunch of things. And I feel like that sometimes is asking more. And then I came up at the end. She's like, did you want to say something? And I was like, I just wanted to say, I wanted to ask one question. Do you read aloud when you revise? She goes, yes. And I'm like, I thought so. You're the best prose writer rhythmically since Ursula K. Le Guin. And she goes, oh. And I'm like, that's it. Have a great day. And she's like, did you want me to sign anything? And I was like, oh, absolutely not. And she's like, can I have a hug? And I was like, yeah. And I hugged her, and then I walked away, and I was like,
yeah. I think you probably made her, day of the year. Yeah.
She'd given me so much. I just wanted to give her one beautiful thing and then leave. I don't want anything from you.
Yeah.
Oh, she's so hot.
You go to her next panel, and you'll have a cardboard cutout in front of her face, like, nah, not me. Yeah. All right. Well, keep questions coming. People are arguing over M dashes now.
Oh gosh. Calm down, everyone. It's subjective, and everyone is right.
Yeah.
I'm equally wrong. I'm just one person, so feel free to break me down.
Yeah.
Feel free to
you gotta be careful there.
Yeah. Well.
Yeah. All right. So the Shattered Sword was written in 2020, pre-COVID world, right? Lit RPG was a very different genre. I mean, it's been 5 years, but it's been 5 years. I mean, there's a lot's happened in the genre since then. How would you approach writing a new series today versus then? What are some of the big differences in the genre that you would take into account?
There's two approaches. One is very market centric, and
we've got writers in here. We need the marketing advice too.
Sure. And so you could be very smart on what you write content wise to make sure you hit dead center. But I need to qualify that, because if you aren't in love with what you're writing, it will be trash. Not the whole write whatever the fuck you want and pretend it'll sell. That you could curb it toward if you're writing lit RPG and you go against all of the tropes and expectations, no one will pick up your book.
Yeah, I mean, every once in a while, one of those slaps, but that's like winning the lotto. I mean, it really is, and I would say that most of the time when that happens, it was very intentional.
We still have a lot of the framework that's needed. They still have that. But other things, unfortunately, I felt like in 2020 and all the way to late 2023, you could put something on Amazon and self-publish and be successful. It was so much easier. That is no longer the case. That really sucks. Amazon should be sued. They fucked with the algorithms, and very like established authors are losing now in ways that just don't make sense. So I would say, if you want my advice on how to get readers, Royal Road is still one of the best methods of gaining a following ahead of time. And there's like other ways to like Scribble Hub, and you can double, triple post everywhere and do all that stuff. But RR is the backbone of it. If you get a following of like even 1,000 up to like, 3+, you can go immediately to one of the publishers and broker a deal. Don't accept their first deal. Yes, be pushy. No, they won't be offended. No, you won't burn a bridge by asking for more. If anyone needs advice on different publishers, directly contact me. That's fine. But I'm going to say, unfortunately, I know all the publishers and they're good people. They're like people. They're not just like these weird sharks, right? But I feel like they are viable more than ever. I started with Athon, and then I dropped back to self and like Indie Pub and Hybrid for 4 years and did very well. And then had some losses where I didn't expect them because the algorithms would drop out, or the reviews would get completely blocked on a certain series, or Amazon has too much power and no transparency, and it's shit. But when you have a publisher that has a newsletter with 30,000 people that they can actually post to, and
then it doesn't matter. Yeah,
it does, but it can mitigate a lot, and it can give you the best push. It's about jogging the algorithms and getting that initial movement. That way the algorithms get trained, and then if you drop to 1,000 ranking, that's amazing. You've made it, right? If you drop to even 3,000, you're going to make some money. If your book never gets below 30K, I'm so sorry, you've lost a lot of money. It's over. Mm-hmm. It's and then I would say work on finishing the series, and also get your next book out book one out as soon as possible, and try to time the release date and keep playing with the system. Yeah. I wish I could be more optimistic, but I'm trying to be realistic.
Yeah. Is there anything from like a content perspective that you would say has changed?
Yeah. Even Eternal, I don't think Eternal Online would work right now.
Yeah.
Which is sad, because I think it was excellent. And I think there's a lot of excellent books that came out that were just weird. And now we're getting, no, don't say anything specifically. Some of the big hits are fucking formulaic trash. They're trash. I'm just going to say that, but I won't do names. When you read a book and you realize, wait, I've read this before, but the dude's a different Jake, and there's just so much overlap, and it's pure male POV power fantasy. I'm even down with that. It's super fun to read, but we're losing originality in a way that kind of sucks. I still think long-term, it's better to go towards something that is tropey and familiar, and then make it your own. Mm-hmm. So if you want to do that, if you want to do a female lead, I would say don't go really experimental by making her heavily emotional and have lots of internal dialogue and like monologues. What are you doing?
Yeah.
Lit RPG needs to be punchy, fun, fast-paced. Don't make the progression super slow. Some books are literally, I call them lit RPG porn, where you're like, I even told this to the author, and he laughed. Jake's Magical Market is lit RPG porn. It blows my mind. And I was just laughing and enjoying the book. And I'm like, fuck you, Matthews. He's a god now? Like, what the shit was this?
Yeah, he gets his time god powers pretty quick.
Like, the goodies end up not even meaning as much, but it worked. I still don't write pure like that way, because it doesn't feel real to me. But I've been pushing toward that in some ways, being like, let's see what more rewards and progression look like, and push against power creep more. Let's see what we can break.
Just go. Yeah.
It's fun.
Yeah. Iron Eyes has a question. Why are some lit RPGs in the lighter end in terms of prose? What I mean is they seem minimalist, if that makes sense.
Ooh, trying to not get in trouble.
Yeah, no getting in trouble. I think I'll offer some opinion. I think that two things. When you're lighter in prose, it's quicker to write, and we are a genre that is just hungry. So authors are trying to kick out as much as possible, as quickly as possible. And also, when you talk about like quicker progression, like fights and stuff like that, quickness tends to be lighter prose in general. The faster a book moves, the lighter prose it is. I mean, there's books that break that, but that's kind of where the genre's at and has kind of always wanted been, so you just get that quickness. I think if you had a book that was really bogged down in prose, your average lit RPG author would just, or reader would just be like, a little heavy.
Yeah.
I don't have patience.
I will add on some stuff, and I will qualify by saying that some of my prose has been purplish, and I work against that. Like coming from academics as a background is not.
What does purplish mean?
Purple prose is when you're hitting all the big words and being fancy and floral for no fucking reason, and it doesn't read well. It's not
showy. Yeah.
It doesn't read well. Spare or simple with prose, I would say there's like two main reasons. One is that the majority of lit RPG authors were not authors first. They were just dudes having fun. And that's also what made the genre cool in some ways. It's also what gives a lot of the genre its janky crappiness or like pulp-esque vibe. Yeah. But so
the fanfic sort of.
I got in a big argument with some buddies online in an old Discord, and they were so mad at He Who Fights because they're like, this is trash prose, blah, blah, blah. It's so simple. And he uses passive voice too much. And there's a lot of different things happening. And then I remember reading it and going, wow, this was a professional journalist before. The simple prose is excellent.
Yeah.
Shirtaloon is excellent.
Yeah.
I didn't get further than book 2, I think. So I don't really know where he goes or how he progressed.
That stays pretty, yeah.
He knew how to write first. It's hard to make simple prose really clean. And then there's just sometimes where you're like, dude, this is horrible, but I love the progression. So here we go. Who gives a shit?
Yeah.
But yeah, simple doesn't mean it's bad. Sometimes it means it's incredibly skillful.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
It can be very difficult to write simple.
Yeah, it's the Hemingway effect, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Great question.
Hemingway's amazing.
What was that?
Hemingway's amazing. I'm on that team, and a lot of people like think it's cliche, and I'm like, it is cliche, but he's amazing.
I don't like his books, but I appreciate the sculpture. I appreciate the.
Have you read A Clean, Well-Lighted Place?
No.
His books are okay. Read his short stories. He's a master.
Okay.
He's a master. His books, I'm always like, this is great writing, but I don't. Why the plot? This could be a short story. But yeah.
Yeah. All right. Next question I've got. So we talked a little bit about how this is a complete series, 3 books. It sounds like that was intentional that you had 3 books planned. It was 3-book series from the beginning when you're thinking about it. Well, except for the novella phase of this book. But why, in a genre that is 14, 20, 35 books long, why commit to the 3-book arc?
I did intend to do a second 3-book arc after, and I still have an idea of what that would look like and where it would go.
Do we need a GoFundMe to start that?
Y'all give me 50K.
Yeah.
I will write you another trilogy. Let's go. But it's hard to return to things. I don't control as much as my brain does. And I dove into Guildcore after this, and then the Atlas Cane took off, and I was writing so many fucking books like that. And then I had a juicy mental breakdown. It is what it is. You can't write that fast and that much, and then your girl's got trauma. So I went through some stuff that I think changed the course of my career in a way that we'll never go back to. But Athon is dope. They're like, if you ever want to write more in that series, we'll still publish it. Andy said if I ever write more in that series, she would read it. And so I would love to. In fact, I had ideas of the next one being essentially Hana would return. The pronouns would already have changed. There'd probably be a ring on the finger. Madi's still there. But when they log in, the remnants of the company that's taken down takes revenge, and it's a trapped in the system.
Yes.
So the real life stakes are real.
Yeah.
And that would just be the only way I would go on. Wouldn't be another like log in, log off VR.
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense. It would be like, oh fuck, we have to get out of here.
Well, and the log in, log off VR was like a trope 5 years ago, but it's not something that more modern books seem to have in lit RPG. It's just not as common anymore.
People like the higher stakes, yeah. And I think I did a good job at making the stakes high. So she was pretty desperate and needed to stay in there a while, but some just feel too, who cares?
Yeah.
It's just a game, you know?
Yeah.
Needs to feel like more than a game. And they can still work, by the way.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think it's a little bit more of an uphill climb. So.
Yeah. All right. At the time of writing, it was one of the only female main character RPGs out there. I mean, there's some, and we talked about them earlier, but it was one of the few. How was that? I thought that you did a great job with the series and with the main character and the point of view. There's personal moments where Hannah had to fight through trauma that she'd had in real life, and I thought you handled that really, really well. But yeah, talk to us a little bit about being an author of a female main character in 2020.
It was actually a struggle for me. I was still kind of in the egg a little bit. I've got lots of dissociation and stuff. So even though at various points in my life I had sort of realized that I'm trans, I hadn't allowed myself to hold on to that. I would sort of dissociate away and forget again. But I felt really, really strongly compelled to write a female main character. Like I had done it's like a cliche. I've done all of my RPGs ever as a female main character. I'm not a trans femme at all, I swear to God. but I needed that to happen. And then it really, really upset me. I was a review reader and I was very thin-skinned and easily wounded, and writing about sexual trauma and then reading online, this is what happens when a man writes a woman, and using the rape trope and all these other things, when what was I doing? I was writing about my own self. I'm a survivor, and it was important for me to write about someone that was reforging themselves. It was about she is the sword, right? The sword is just a stupid metaphor. So I wanted to show her not only survive, but become something greater.
Yeah.
So it wasn't a fucking trope.
Well, and I think it's crazy because you handled it so delicately. Like you could read that book and not see it if you were just not looking for trauma. I mean, it's there, but you know, somebody who's just like speed reading through or not really paying attention wouldn't even pick up on it. You know, it's there for the people that need it, and it's, you know, for the people that.
And this is the reason I got past all the bullshit. Was all of I got a lot of 1 stars on that book. The old school 1 stars were real juicy online, and Amazon just never took anything down. But, I would get absolute hate and ridicule and bullshit and misogyny from men. And then I would get emails that were several pages long from women and non-men that had survived horrible things and thanked me for showing that experience.
Yeah.
So it was important.
Yeah.
So also to bounce over into Atlas Kane, Chimera King is real as fuck. I wrote about my combat experiences in Iraq. I wrote about the women I'd fucked in real life. I put way too much of myself in that book in a way that was beautiful and raw, and I don't regret it. It was my first time. That the reason I wrote Harem was because I was like, how can I write something that I don't restrict myself on?
Mm-hmm.
And it wasn't like the need for group dynamics or anything, or like collecting chicks. I wanted to write multiple women because I wanted a bunch of female main characters because I relate with them more. And if you read back, most of my main male characters are a little tabla rasa. They're a little two-dimensional, and
yeah, they're little
and three-dimensional
cardboard cutouts. Yeah,
a little bit, which actually works and is sometimes preferred because of self-insert. But yeah, I feel like I've done a lot of trauma processing in my writing.
Yeah,
it's hard to heal.
I think that I mean, if there's self-insert, I don't care who you are, there's self-insert that gets in there. You know, you can't help it because that's what breathes life into your stories, right? And I think I don't know, we were on a panel together at Lit RPG Con, and we had this discussion with the audience about how, you know, should only queer people write queer people into their stories. And I had a semi-controversial opinion that I was like, no, we need other people to write queer people into stories too, because when you one-star our queer story, it feels like you're one-starring us in our experience, because, you know, that there's that self-insert where some straight white dude can write about a queer story. Maybe it's less authentic, but when you one-star him, you know, it's like, he just gets mad. Like, you know, it doesn't take that self-esteem hit.
I think it needs to be written differently.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you're gonna okay, Bryce O'Connor writes a trans femme into the Iron Prince series, and I got goosebumps and I emailed him afterward because it was excellently done.
Mm-hmm.
It basically, we get one sentence of confirmation, something like, you know, some people always try to define you between what's between your legs, but we both know blah, 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 blah. One sentence confirms that she's trans. The rest of it is her being a character. That's it. It's not like, oh, my dysphoria. And the first time I went to a pride parade, like, don't make them a cross.
Make your characters, everything about them is their queerness. Yeah.
And if you write like a Latino character, they don't need to be eating like Spanish rice and burritos every scene, because that's really weird.
Mm-hmm.
They should just be a character, you know?
Yeah.
That's how I think people write outside of themselves in a way that's not offensive, is to just write them as grounded people. But to not ever do that is to write like a whitewashed world in a way, because that's what we're looking at, is like a mostly white authorship and mostly straight authorship, and then you add those together and we're in a hegemony world, and it's like, come on, let's not do that.
Which throws a lot. I mean, there's a certain element of our genre that live in that or want that or don't see a problem with that. There's a lot of readers that will get thrown out of your book for just whitewashing and cis hetero rising everything.
Even if the sales won't get that even if your sales are fine, have you done the right thing?
Mm-hmm.
Does that not matter? Do you have kids? Whatever. I think it matters. I think it all matters. So
yeah,
doesn't mean you have to become a social justice warrior if that's not your calling or whatever. But I think that like some amount of inclusion goes a long way.
Yeah, long way. I actually talked to Jason. Oh God, I'm just totally blanking. Jason, who wrote Head of Class, and he has a non-binary character. The first non-binary character that I really ran into in Lit RPG is a secondary character, and he does a really good job with them. I'm like, what a dumbass I am. Well, he does a really good job with them as a native individual as well. He put a lot of heart in there, and it's like, yeah, we need that. We need that in the genre, you know.
Not that he needs the support. but Daddy Dinneman
Mm-hmm.
got death threats for writing a trans-mask character in his Dominion of Blade series in book 2. And I
Jason
think,
Willis, sorry.
yeah,
Thank you for saving me, BJ.
I said it twice. You didn't hear me.
Oh, sorry.
But yeah, I thanked him personally, because when somebody else does it, when a Matt Dinneman of the world gets a death threat, a Reckwell and a Rose Reynolds doesn't.
Yeah. Yep.
It spreads out the violence, and in a way, Matt has more armor than we will ever have.
Yeah.
So that's what you use privilege for, is to take up space to protect and love other people. Period.
Yeah. Clap that 100 times. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah. All right. Let's get into just a few last stuff. We're at time. We're like, I knew we were gonna run over
because we're having fun. This is good.
I know we are having fun. This is why I gotta have you back.
You're like really smart.
Yeah. But a few last questions here. You mentioned at the top of the show we're gonna see you at Jordan Con, Lit RPG Con, Dragon Con. So the big 3. Any other appearances you want to call out?
I might do the what's the online Lit RPG thing called?
The Guildify.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Still not
yeah.
Name,
if
but
they do it. Yeah.
If they do it, it's gonna be dope. I'll still do that. You can come down to Long Beach, California and hang out at Sweetwater Saloon with me. But no other appearances.
Yeah, that's fair. It's time for there's 2 segments at the end of the show. One is, what should we add to Pop Pop's TBR? What is something that you're reading that you think that everybody else needs to read?
Maggie Stiefvater's Scorpio Races.
Yeah. And the names in the chat, thanks to Brian. It
is so good. Also, Tamsin Muir's Gideon the Ninth was amazing. And one second, let me look up something.
Gideon the Ninth is a trip, so be prepared.
It's so good. Yeah. It is so good.
The sun will rise. It is.
And then you'll also get stuck on Gideon the Ninth TikTok at some point in your TikToking, and that's also its own special place in my heart.
Damn it, I'm trying to come up with one that was really... Oh, yeah, She Who Became the Sun by Shelley Parker Chan is imposter syndrome inducing. The rest of the books were good. Book 1 was a masterpiece. And there's sapphic fisting. So that's what got me to check it out. And then I was just like reading it and I was like, wow, the prose is so good and the world building is so dope. And yeah.
Okay. Yeah. What was the name of that one again?
And She Who Became the Sun. But because we're in Lit RPG, Raven's Dagger, Cinnabon, I fucking love it so much. It's cutesy as shit. Read Cinnabon series. Yeah, it's adorable. And Raven's Dagger brought his mom to Dragon Con.
Yeah, she was adorable.
Yeah,
was the highlight.
How are you so adorable? You fucking golden retriever.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I fangirled there. It was fun.
Yeah. So now you've got to come out with Rec. What is coming out next for you? Your next book. Mm-hmm.
I have a few things on the roster. I'm coming out with Sage Ascendant, which is the Twin Realms Apocalypse Book 3. That the first one was Remnant Mage. That will be coming out soon. I'm going to be doing First Fist Book 3, which has been long in the coming. For anyone that's mad at me about that, I transitioned in the middle of it. You try to do that and follow the narrative. It's really weird and trippy to go back and write those books for me. But then the one I'm most excited about that's new is Bunny Girl Exploits, the Heroes of Mytheris. It is going to be the coziest power fantasy you've ever read. So character-driven, adorable, female main character, queer cast. Yeah.
A lot of check marks there. Yeah.
Yeah, it's slice of life, but it will also be power fantasy with like an incredibly OP MC. So I want both. I'm like, I'm not going to choose.
All of it. No compromises. Yeah.
No.
Love it.
Mhm.
Well, you've been a gem. Thank you so much for coming on Author's Corner. It's been amazing to hang out. Thanks everybody for joining tonight. If you've got any questions for Rose, where can we reach out to you? Discord,
Discord, Facebook, both good. Yeah, I think I have my stuffs up, especially if you just go to my Facebook and it's Rose/TJ Reynolds pen name or whatever, or I'll be on Discord.
Yeah.
Pop in one of the groups and ping me or something. So
yeah. All right. So reach out. Love letters only. Thanks, everybody. Have a good rest of your night. And you'll catch me next week on Tuesday with Pop Pop. We've actually got TJ Lombardi coming on, our first guest. So I'm positive it's going to be chaos. So join and laugh with us. All right. Thanks, everybody. Have a good one.
thank you.
And real quick, tomorrow we are doing an emergency episode with Daniel Wisniewski. So
Wisniewski! Tell Daniel
Wisniewski! Oh, I should pronounce his name right this time.
the handsomest sweetheart ever.
We absolutely love him. But yes, everyone have a good night.
Yeah. Thanks.